Hi guys, I'm Adrian, and today's show, Cyberpunk Edgerunners. Cyberpunk opens how it ends, pure cyber psycho. Before we get started, spoilers ahead. One becomes a cyber psycho when they've reached the threshold of chrome implants to the body. It's a point at which the implants drive a man insane. It's when a person has so many implants that they have lost their soul and are no longer human. We see the carnage and pure destructive ability one is capable of. We see the carnage and pure destructive ability Night City has to offer. Now that we live in the future and people have synthetic enhancements, we see our world turn into something much more sexualized, desensitized, and chaotic. Everything we fear about our world today is turned to 100. We are already spending too much time online, wasting our lives and watching porn. It makes us docile, and we see this push to an extreme with Cyberpunk's future technology. Gloria is David's father. She is the typical work hard single mother and does everything she can to provide for David. She works countless hours and is consistently overworked, but it doesn't matter to her if it means a better life for her son. The chaos ensued by Cyberpunk's dystopian society affects everyone in one way or another. The streets of Night City aren't safe and are catered to those who wield wealth and power. We see the struggle David's mom goes through in providing for him and giving him a fighting chance in Night City. In Night City, anything that can be paid for is. It goes down to having a bill just for the washing machine. We even see these prices separate the class system in David's mother's incident. When driving David home, Gloria is caught in the crossfire of a high-speed shootout. At this point, Gloria simply becomes another victim of Night City and the chaos it provides. To add insult to injury, Gloria literally dies because they couldn't afford a medical package with enough coverage and couldn't recover from the surgery because of how overworked she was. Their medical package didn't even cover visitation of loved ones. We even see urgent care get to them in ample time enough to save them. But because they weren't clients of that hospital or company, the ambulance left the accident and continued on with their day. This shows us the Night City cycle and how everything is in service of something else, and how not having one thing means not having something else. Now, David, without a mother, decides to take the fight back to Night City. Enter the Sandevastine, or Sandevistan, however you guys say it. Basically, it makes him a speedster. David was a straight A student and, of course, had his bullies. Once he gets to Sandevastan, he does what any logical teenage boy his age would do and kicks his bullies' asses properly. Once David gets expelled, the principal immediately informs the higher ups of David's new Sandevastine implant. We also learn that David has a higher chrome tolerance, meaning he can take more implants than the average person. This makes David think he's special, and this gives him a strong boost of confidence throughout the show. Now we have Lucy. Lucy tries to picksocket David and gets caught due to his speedster abilities, and Lucy takes David under her wing. They begin doing jobs together, and this is where David tests his abilities and their limits, along with Lucy and David starting to bond. David begins to learn his limits and adapts to these changes. Enter the previous owner of the Sandevistan, Maine. Maine is a huge jack dude who is chrome to the T. Now, Maine wants to figure out how he's going to get back his Sandevistan, but the only way is to kill David. So Lucy advises against this, and they decide David will be part of the team, still making use of the Sandevistan. Now, David gets his first job and is able to prove himself worthy of being part of the team. In an awesome action sequence, we get to see the team in action and Maine's dope ass whammy shell. Maine also introduces David to amino blockers to help his chrome tolerance, and I should also mention that Maine discourages David from using the team as an emotional crutch, signifying that they are all in this alone. Now we get one of our villains, Giancarlo Esposito. Alright, I'm sorry. Listen, y'all, I'm sorry. Every time I say Giancarlo Esposito, I have to do like this little song behind it. I'm sorry, I apologize, but I love him. It's Giancarlo. Now, screw his show name. I'm calling him Giancarlo Esposito. Now, Giancarlo reinforces to Maine and the team that they work for him and do what he tells them to. He is where all the jobs come from, and he is who the crew answers to. I mean, of course he is. It's Giancarlo Esposito. If he's not playing a character controlling things in the shadows, is it really a worthy part for Giancarlo? I don't think so. Now, the show has plenty more side characters to offer, and they are all visually striking and interesting in the different tech implants they have. Now, Night City is a place of chaos, cruelty, and a perfect example of what happens when we begin to fuse with technology. I hate to say it, but electronic enhancements are more than likely a part of our future and a part of our lifetime. We have everything bad about our society dialed up to 100. We are desensitized to the max, berated with media and ways to escape reality. Pornography is so immersive that real connection seems pointless, and extreme violence is an everyday norm. Going cyber psycho, I believe, again, is the result of having so much chrome that you lose your mind, you lose your humanity. You are more machine than man, and your soul no longer has a body. All the crew members know that this life only ends one way. All the crew members know the result of living in Night City. Night City is a prime example of a place that will chew you up, spit you out, and eat you again. We see this happen to Maine, Dorio, Peeler, David's mom, David, and I'm sure I missed some, not to mention all the other stories we could possibly get from this world. Now, I'm no anime buff, but I gotta take some time to respect the excellent animation we see in Cyberpunk. Every scene is visually striking and always imposes a purposeful mood. The soundtrack is fire as well. I never did get to play Cyberpunk, but I definitely would like to at this point. Now, I know this video was a bit short, but most of what the show has to offer must be seen. If you haven't seen it yet, go watch it right now on Netflix. Be sure to check me out on Instagram at VicMackeySweetButter, and I will see you guys in the next video.